Well, good afternoon all. Here I am again. Just wanted to make a reply to the £3,000 for a bike vlog that good old Mr. Blagdeblah did. I didn't pay anywhere near £3 for my bike, and it's a 600cc, and I got it for a little over £1,000. It was 50 quid over £1,000. Like I say, that's a 600, so you got your fuel economy, you got an upright riding position. I've mentioned before it's a Phaser FZS 600. Money wise, I think a lot depends on the age of the bike, to be honest. I mean, you can get a 1000cc version of this upright as well. I'm not sure what the fuel economy is like. I'll have a little look. Probably should have done that before I started rabbiting. But as was mentioned, once you get to 1,000, you're starting to lose fuel economy, obviously. So scooter rider, no nod, no surprise. Still, never mind. Yeah, once you get up in the old CCs, so how important is it that it's more than, say, 600? Because that seems to be the sweet spot for fuel economy. There is, with regard to fuel economy, there is the Honda NC700X, I think it is, which comes in two versions. You get a manual and an automatic. That seems to knock out 70 plus miles to the gallon. It's a 700cc. It looks lovely. It's an upright position. So have a look at that. If I've missaid that and it's not an NC700, then I shall be putting up a correction round about here. So if you don't see it, then memory works. That's good, isn't it? And I shall refer back to a vlogger that I mentioned before, which is Techmoan, TECHMOAN. He's great if you want to look at cameras, like not sort of drifts and GoPros, because loads of people vlog about them. His speciality is the cheap and cheerful ones from China, which is what I've got. Although what I've got is also being sold on Dogcam. Now you're turning left, that's good. It's on Dogcam for 250 quid, and I got this from China for 130. That was to do with his review of it, because it looked really good, and I think the picture quality is great. I tend to record in 720p 60 frames a second, but it will also do a 1080p 30 frames a second. I don't know why I don't. Okay, I'm going to have a go with the old, because YouTube scales it down anyway to 30 frames a second, so I'm going to have a go with the 1080p and see what the difference is. But even at 720, I cannot complain about the picture quality. And you know, tangent, I didn't come out to talk about the camera, sorry. He also did a vlog about his bike, which is the NC700. But what he looks for in a bike might not be what you look for in a bike. And that's the thing, perfect bike. Everyone's different. Perfection is subjective. What I think is perfect, which right now is this, not being behind this van, that's not perfect. I mean, this bike is perfect for me, because first bike, but it's one that I'm not going to get bored with in a hurry. But also I like the upright, because you know, I don't want my wrist to go to sleep. But I've also got a bit of a dodgy back sometimes, so I feel being in a sports position isn't going to help me at all. So, and I know the guy that is looking for this bike also wants upright. So, you know, have a look at that one then. Have a look at the Phaser 500, have a look at the Phaser 1000, have a look at the Phaser 600. I can't rate any others because I've never ridden any others except like scooters and stuff. And I did ride, I think it was a GS 500 once upon a time. So those of you that are good at maths might be able to work out, hang on, he's had his licence for what? A couple of months at the most, not even that, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And this is his first big bike that you mentioned, but now all of a sudden there was another bike. That doesn't make sense. That must have been before he passed his test. Well, okay, this is not confession time. If it was, I've got loads of things to talk about, but it's not confession time. I haven't got loads of things. That was a joke. Yes, I might have ridden a bike that I wasn't licensed to ride. Once upon a time when I lived abroad, it wasn't in England, officer. So that's all forgiven. And statute of limitations, blah blah blah, it was a long time ago. Anyway, but I don't remember what it was. So I can't. Do you know, the gist of this is, to put it in a nutshell, you know, not to labour a point, you know, to get to the bottom of the page, if you like, at the end of the day, all things being considered, putting it as succinctly as I can, the only thing I can recommend is a Phaser 600, because that's what I've got. But I've been on a forum that says Phaser 1000 is nice and all. So have a look, see what you think. But also have a look at that other one, which, you know, I respect the geezer's opinion. Might be the perfect bike for you, might not be. So anyway, this is bloke telling me a horror story. He said on his 10th anniversary he's laying in bed with the wife, his 10th anniversary, his wife, and they're laying there all happy and everything, and she says to him, "It's our 10th anniversary. I have been keeping a secret that I feel I must tell you now." She said, before we got married, in fact before we even met, I was a hooker for 8 years. And the man turned to her and said, "My love, the past 10 years have been absolutely wonderful. You have been the perfect wife. I'm not going to hold your past against you. In fact, maybe this could work out really well, because maybe you could teach me a thing or two and I could become an even better lover as a husband." And she turns to him and says, I don't think you're understanding me. She said, "When I said I was a hooker for 8 years, I mean my name was Brian and I played for London Irish." So I shall leave you now with this vision of beauty. Thanks for watching. Ride safely, and good night bikers wherever you are.